we are going to be looking at Nintendo Power Magazine. Let I wonder if I can get my webcam up while we do this. Let's try to copy that. I didn't really think about this too much. Let's see if I can't get my webcam in the corner right here. Uh, Copy, duplicate. I think this is really cool. No, no, there, that should work. Sorry about this. I didn't even think about my cam being up here or not. I want to make sure it's small enough that I'm not blocking the magazine itself, because that would defeat the purpose of it. Webcam, put down here. Here we go. And turn that on. There we go. Sorry about the delay. I wasn't thinking about this. But Nintendo Power, and the reason why I'm doing it April 1st is because of the fact that this issue right here is issue number 5, I believe, and it is for March, April of 1989. So we'll be able to look at this and kind of browse through it. We'll see games that we've played already on stream. As you can see, the title's all about Ninja Gaiden. And then we get to see games that are coming out and games that have come out. Unfortunately, they've been before my birth. We'll get to them eventually, so don't worry. It's just a matter of finding time for them. And I think it's really cool that we can look at this magazine. We get to see some of the adverts that were in the magazine back in the day. Look at some of the articles. See what was in that magazine back in the day. And maybe get some tips and tricks from the magazine. It was really cool back in the day when you got these magazines. We didn't have that many personally. Well, we had a few. Excuse me. We had a few of these magazines, and they were really interesting because they always had tips and tricks or little secrets in the games, and the ones you had, you knew because of the magazine. There was no internet back in the day, obviously, so this is how we got our gaming information, especially for Nintendo games. It was through Nintendo Power. So let's look at this. The cover's kind of cool. It's about Ninja Gaiden, so that's pretty cool. Tidal wave. Look at the kids like outfit and how so 80s this is. Like the color of the surfboard and all of that. It's really interesting. Um, let's see. You're riding the biggest, fastest, most powerful wave in video games. Powerful titles, powerful graphics, powerful choices. Right now, you can play over 100 blockbuster video games on your Nintendo Entertainment System. And the video game wave of the future is rolling in bigger, badder, and more power packed than ever. Are you ready for awesome? I mean, look at the titles that he has. Like, I can't believe, like, nowadays, like, you just, like, you're looking at this picture and he's standing on these boxed games. Like, I would kill for box copies of these NES games. But they obviously didn't know or didn't think about what nowadays would be like, collecting this stuff. But you get to see a few Adventures of Link, the second Zelda. He also is standing on the original Zelda box. What is there? Metroid. I'm trying to look a little bit more. Maybe Blades of Steel, Castlevania, Double Dragon. It's a couple games. We could do this. We could look at that picture all day, but let's just move on. I'm not going to read everything, because it's just basically a magazine. If you wanted to read it, you can find it online. They have the site Archive that archives all this old promotional and magazines that are way out of copyright and publicity. That's just out of print. But yeah, you can read it yourself. We're just going to look at the different contexts, maybe look at a couple pictures, maybe read a couple articles, depending on what it is. But let's look at the contents. Let's see what we got in this magazine here. Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. That game was interesting, to say the least. CES report. Never heard of that? Oh, I'm stupid. CES report. That's E3 back in the day. I, once I saw where it says Vegas show. So back then, E3 wasn't the Electronic Entertainment Expo, which is what E3 stands for. Back then, it was the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Uh, Basically, CES is a current E3. So they were talking about CES back then. Well, it's going to be interesting to look at their article on the CES and see what came out and all that. Ninja Gaiden, cool. Hudson's Adventure Island, that comes out in, I believe, 2 weeks. So Adventure Island will be playing in 2 weeks. That's interesting. Strider, that comes out in, what is it, May? No. August. July, August, I want to say. Cobra Triangle comes out around June, July. Bayou Billy comes out in July. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in June. I'm trying to think of where they were on the calendar. So we'll be playing pretty much all these games. So we'll look at the previews of them, just to see what it is, kind of get us hyped for when the games come out. So this is really cool. I'm really excited to look at this. Howard and Nestor. Oh, that's Nestor. Nestor, if you look right here, there's that little red-haired kid. That's Nestor. He's like the Nintendo Power Kid, the Nintendo Kid. I guess his name's Nestor. So you'll see Nestor all over the place. Let's see. Classified information. We'll have to see what that's about. Power Pad Party. World Class Track Meet. We haven't played. Dance Aerobics. I have on my shelf back here. And if you guys don't know what the Power Pad is, kind of to give you a little idea of what it is, let me grab it right here. So this right here, let me turn back on my feed so I can see what I'm showing. This is a Power Pad. It's basically a big, huge DDR dance pad. We have one game up there on my collection that, I'm sorry, I might have been cut out. We have one game up there on my collection that is a Power Pad game. Oh, you guys didn't see. Of course you didn't see. I didn't have my feed on. Let me turn that back on. Let me switch. Oh, you did see it. I forgot I had my camera in the corner. So the Power Pad is a dance DDR pad, and you have to step on it, and it's very interesting. We'll play some of these games on stream. I'm figuring out how I'm going to set up the cameras to do that, but Dance Aerobics I do have, so we can play that. And in about a couple weeks, we have another game, which isn't mentioned here, but it's called Super Cop or Street Cop. We'll get to there. Video Shorts, California Games, that's coming up. Taboo, that's in like 3 weeks. Naboo Ambition, that comes out soon. Desert Commander is about 4 weeks. Mappy Land in 2 weeks. Look forward to that. Airwolf, a little bit later. Predator, I think, is in 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. Flying Dragon is later in the year. So yeah, all these games are really cool because we're all going to be touching on them coming up when we're playing games. So that's really, really cool. So the Nintendo Power Awards 88. We'll see what won for 88. I guess it's like the Academy Awards, but for Nintendo. Pack Watch. We'll not read all over there. There's a couple that is mentioned. It's kind of like a preview. And just a bunch of other little NES trivia. Oh, there's a trivia section. That might be fun for us to go and look at. Let's see. Mailbox. So what are these? Are these kids or people? Look at this. I am 83 years old. I bought the Nintendo Entertainment System 2 years ago. I love Nintendo. I presently live in Rosewood Retirement Home. We play at least 5 hours a day, and we have a Nintendo Fun Club. We have 6 members in our club and over 43 games. We have completed Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Metal Gear. That's a game. Metal Gear, I want to play on stream. I didn't have it as a kid. I've always wanted to play that game, especially because we had Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. I always wanted to play Metal Gear. I think I tried it on emulator once, but it wasn't the same. I didn't feel like it was the same gumption as actually having a cartridge. I'm gonna get that, and we are gonna play it one day on stream, and have it being posted as a video series. I want to play Metal Gear so bad, so keep an eye out for that because I want to do that. Kid Icarus, Double Dragons, and Super Mario Brothers 2. Our our club has recently subscribed to Nintendo Power. The message our club wants to convey is that you're never too old to play the NES. And that's the message I want to convey to you guys. No matter how old the NES system is or any NES game that you own, it is never too old to play. These games are classic, they're fun, and they're enjoyable to play. I love these games so much. So never get old, and never make these games get old because they're classics and they deserve the respect they have. I'm like kind of tearing up just thinking about that one specific article. I just picked one, the first one, and read it, and I'm kind of tearing up. I don't know why. It's really weird and really stupid. But I was just thinking about it. These people were 83 years in 89, so they're probably resting in peace. And here I am reading their article from Nintendo, or their mail from Nintendo Power promoting the NES, and here I am also promoting the NES. And one day I'll be like them, and it's a perpetual cycle of life. But it's just really emotional to think about it, and we look back on these games so fondly, and think about it like this guy really. Did he say his name? He didn't say his name, but this group. Oh, right here, Ryan Mall and friends in Bakersfield, California. Ryan Mall, rest in peace. Your words are heard over 33 years ago, from 33 years from that date, and they mean so much in a weird way. I don't know, I'm kind of getting emotional thinking about this, but it was really cool to read this. So, uh, yeah, that took me off guard. I didn't mean, I'm like, not like crying like a baby, but I got teared up just thinking about the whole complexity of the situation, that he's no longer with us and his message still strikes home, and here I am promoting the magazine. That's incredible. Oh. All right, let's move on. We're not going to read any more today. I hope this keeps in because this is interesting to. Um, you can pause it actually and read some if you want to. Um, but this is really interesting to sit here and watch and read some of these. Uh, yeah, I might go back and play and read this on my personal time because it's really interesting. There's pictures and stuff. Look how bad the picture quality is that they sent in. It's all blurry and stuff. Like that would not be acceptable today. But let's move on to The Adventure of Link, Zelda 2. Oh, this game. This game. We don't have it. We're going to play it eventually. All these games we're going to play eventually on stream. It's just a matter of getting. This came out way before my birthday. But we'll play it eventually. This game, I'll talk about it more when we play it. But we rented it once and we thought it was complete garbage. I think we played it once when we rented it from Blockbuster, and we never played it again for that whole week we had it. It was so horrible. And I think because of that, we never rented games from Blockbuster again. Because it's like we're just going to get a crap game and not want to play it. I've played it recently, within like, not recently within the year, but like within like 2, 3 years, probably when Breath of the Wild came out. And I have a different appreciation for it now just because there's more things. If I had this information that they're showing right here, it may have not been that bad. Um, but it was a very, very challenging game. And for me, by the time I probably picked up an NES, it would have been way too hard for me to even play at all. It's still hard for me as an adult to play, and that's for anyone for the most part, unless you like do it over and over and over again. But yeah, so what's cool? So this magazine. So if we ever do play Zelda 2, when we do play it on stream, we can actually look back at this magazine because it came out in March, April of 1989. So we can go back here and look at the little tips and tricks. Because when I play the games, I don't want to have, like, if I'm lost and I don't know what to do, I don't want to look on the internet. What I want to do is be able to look at these Nintendo Power magazines and try to find the hints and tricks like you would back in the day. And you'll see me do what I'm doing now, looking for the tips and tricks just to try to find what I'm supposed to do. But we'll get there. That's just a cool way to look at this magazine. And yeah, Zelda 2, when we play it, you'll see this article again probably just so I remember what to do. It's a very interesting game. We'll touch that later. All right, so the CES report. Basically E3. Let's see. More filler text. Look at the big names. Look at the big name companies back then. Bandai, Capcom, still around. Sunsoft, Jelco, Data East, Tecmo, which Tecmo made Ninja Gaiden, so I'm looking at them. Nintendo, SNK, Acclaim, Konami, Ultra. So Konami's very much around still. Acclaim is kind of around. Capcom's still around. Bandai's, of course, around. Nintendo's, of course, around. I don't recognize any of these other companies. They could still be around, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's see. They showed off Mega Man 2, Capcom. We'll get to when we get to the Capcom page, if they have it. Do they have it? Yeah, they do. Okay, we'll talk about that when we get there. Second page of this roundabout thing. American Sammy, High Tech, Victokia. Okay. Milton Bradley. Actually, one of the games we're going to be playing tonight is from Milton Bradley, World Games, so we'll be playing one of their games. Borderbound, HAL, LJN. If you watch anything from, I'll promote another YouTube channel right now, Angry Video Game Nerd, you know everything about LJN toys, but they have a little booth. Action Vision, they're still around. Game Tech, FCI, interesting. Double Dare on Game Tech, that's interesting. Kid Cool, okay. All right, let's get into actual CES. Let's see, Wizards and Warriors, which I think comes out later in the year. Don't quote me, but we will play it. I'm interested to see if I'll like that one. Fester's Quest, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Okay, that's a good. I don't want to say it's a good game, but it's a good movie. We'll see how the game is when we get there. Mega Man 2. This is one that I wanted to talk about. Mega Man 2 is the first big NES title to come out. Like, big name, still profound series. Big name series to come out. We still got a couple weeks before then because we got April and it's the middle or end of May when it came out. But Mega Man 2 is the first big, if I can speak right now, big name game that came out during Um, that time. Let me see. Let me see when it came out. Where'd my mouse go? Well, hold on. Okay, I can't look at it right now. But I think it was around May, April, May. Hold on, something's going wrong. My mouse is not visible for whatever reason, which is not good. Oh. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll just continue on. And then we'll take a break from there. And go from there. So yeah, Mega Man's the first big name game that we are going to play on stream. And can't wait to see us play that. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'll talk about that game when I played that. We owned that game growing up. We'll talk about that when it gets... Oh, look at this. The Power Glove. I don't know what I'm going to do when the Power Glove comes out in December. I don't know if I'm going to get one to play. I don't know what's going to happen because the Power Glove was shit. I'm sorry. It wasn't good. We are going to watch The Wiz with the guy from Wonder Years. Yeah, the Power Glove. We'll talk about the Power Glove when it comes out. But here's the tease for that. Ah, Ninja Gaiden. Look at this. We just played this on stream 2 days ago. Oh, look at this. So, the wall jumping, wall climb, the vertical climb. Wait, what's that? Push the control pad away from the wall. Oh, yeah. So it's a jump back and forth. The power boosts. Man, that game is so fun. I can't talk so highly about this game. This game is so fun to play. Let's see. Ninja options, different things. Oh, wow. Why didn't we have this when we were playing the other night? It shows you where all the power-ups and stuff are. Okay, so Area 1 is actually called Galesburg. That's interesting. You have the prologue. Look at the boss. I love the artwork for the first boss, the Barbarian at Jay's Bar. Ah, that's so cool. Act 2, The Escape. Area 1, Outpost. This is real. See, this is what I'm talking about with Nintendo Power. We just played this game. So, you know what if you saw that video, you can know what I'm looking at right here. It's cool to see back in the day, like this is where you would get all your hidden hints and tips from. So yeah, let's actually look, right? So when we were playing the game, you can go look at the video when it's on my channel under Nostalgia Gaming Playlist, or it's on the uploads. We got all the way to the end, up until the final boss, I believe. We'll find out here in a second. And we couldn't beat him. So, normally when you were a kid, you would go all the way down here and go past everything. So we went through this section. We played this section. We went down here. We did this section, the Lizard Mountains. Didn't know what they were called. And it kind of gives you more lore into the thing. Like I said, I didn't know it was called the Lizard Mountains. They can't just put that in the game back then. So it's interesting. It talks about the lower ledges, how you can go down there. Yeah, it's really cool because you build the lore on here. The Basquar. That's who we fought. The jumping person was called the Basquar. That's interesting. We beat that. Yep, then we had to go up to the mountain. Oh, and they cut off. See, and that's another thing that could happen in Nintendo Powers. They tell you the first few levels, but then the rest, it's like, yeah, this is basically what it is. Have fun. So, we gotta go and maybe we'll try to go back and beat the game because the game's been so fun. But we got other games that we need to go over first. So, let's look at this. Now, the games that haven't come out, we're going to look at, but we're not going to really talk about because most of these I've never played. There's a couple that I have that I'll mention, but for the most part, so Adventure Island, haven't played. It comes out, I think, soon. It may be later, but it's on my list for the year. Never played it. Don't know anything. This is the first images of the show, or of the show, of the game that I've seen. Uh, wow. Okay. Yep. We'll just browse on through. Just look at the pictures for now. We won't read anything. I don't want to know more than all that. Yeah, we'll just skip through that. Look, and they have these big pull-out maps, like that show you where everything is and all that. The Zelda one was amazing. We had the Legend of Zelda map from Nintendo Power that showed all the stuff. It's really cool, really cool. So that's stuff like that. Strider, that's another game that comes out later in like June. Once again, know nothing about. Let's look at it. Oh, well, first off, hold on, before we get into Strider. From what I saw on this magazine, Adventure Island. It looks like a side scroller. I hope the controls are good on it. I really hope so. Strider. Alright, we're going through. What does this look like? Transfer analyst and password. Okay. We may need to come back to this uh, magazine for Strider because I don't know what that means. It looks like you have to put in codes or something. But it also looks like a side scroller. I'm confused. It looks interesting. Next game, Cobra Triangle. Don't know anything about it. Guess you race through rivers. Cool. We'll get there when we get there. Adventures of Bayou Billy. Oh, look at the graphics on that. The graphics look good. I wanna see what the game's really like when we get there. It looks like a side scroller maybe or a fighter? Maybe a fighter? Like a side scrolling fighter? I don't know. Shooting? What? Okay, now I don't know. I'm interested. Wait. A great feature of Bayou Billy is that you can choose to play with or without the zapper. What? We'll have to try that. As you can see in the background right here, I do have a Nintendo Zapper, and the TV, it's hard to see right now. It is a CRT TV, so we will be able to use the Zapper, so I gotta check that out. When we get to this game, I'll have to see if it does, in fact, is compatible with the Zapper. We'll see. We'll see. Driving too? Oh my god, that game looks too much. I'm kind of excited for this game just to see how innovative it really is being. We'll get there when we get there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ooh, we had this as a kid, so it's not going to be a blind playthrough, but I got words for this game. I got major words for this game when we get to this. I already, so most of these titles I've bought in advance, so I have them to play on stream. When I bought this one, it kind of hurt my heart. Uh, uh, just knowing that I have to play this on stream one day, but I think it will be fun. All right, some more games. Bionic Commando, never heard of. That's gonna be blind. Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I don't ever remember playing it, so it's going to be blind to me. I know about Castlevania series, but when I get there, going to be basically a blind playthrough. Same with Blaster Master. That's going to be a blind playthrough. Link, Zelda 2, won't be, but it will be fun to play and talk about the experiences I've had when we rented it. Mickey Mouse Capads, but that's going to be a blind play. Howard and Nestor. Look at him dressed up all as Link and all of that. Oh, silly Nestor. Oh, and there's Ghost and Ghouls guy in his armor. Oh, but he was all sleeping in the library. Funny Nestor. You gotta take it for what it is. Classified information. Bionic Commander. That's blind. Know nothing about. Golgo 13. Blind. Nothing. Milo's Secret Castle. I think I've heard of it. Not not recently, but I may have heard it mentioned. But other than that, completely blind. Adventure Island, I've heard of. Still blind. Operation Wolf, we have. I have. We'll get there when it comes out. But it's going to be a blind playthrough. Don't know anything about it. Spy Hunter, I'm familiar with the PS. What was it? Was it the PS2? The PS2 Spy Hunter game. Because me and my brother James, well, I should say my brother James, hated the game so much he threw it away in the trash. But once again, once we get to Spy Hunter on the PS2, we'll talk about that. But Spy Hunter on the NES, don't know anything. Blind completely. Xanac completely. Wizards and Warriors, completely blind on that. Double Dragon, I'm familiar with. Haven't played it. Still familiar with it. Let's see. Adventures of Link, we already talked about that. Castlevania Simon's Quest, we talked about that. Adventures of Link, once again. Let's get to something new. Skate or Die. I've seen a YouTube video on it. Other than that, completely blind. Codename Shredhead? I don't know. Super Mario 2, I've played plenty of times. We own that game. Top 30. Okay, let's see. Super Mario Brothers 2, which did come out at the end of '88, so they would be highlighting it. Zelda 2. Zelda. Look, Zelda, the original Zelda. I can't wait to play it on stream. I love that game. That game's amazing. Punch Out, we owned. My brother loved that game. James, he loved that. Contra, we'll touch up all these games, but if you want to like pause, freeze frame it, and look at these things, feel free to. That's gonna be cool. And maybe look at them. Like I said, all these titles we're gonna get to eventually. This headline caught my eye though. Zelda truly is legendary. There's some new blood at Nintendo, and the queen of video games has increased her following of loyal subjects. Yeah, Zelda, such a good game. Once again, we'll play it. Look at man, look look at all these pictures of these kids in 1989. Imagine 33 years ago, and now they're 33 years older. They all have kids and families, and they have kids that are playing Nintendo Switch or Xbox or something. Oh, look, so in this one, you can see the kid play the power pad in the right hand side of the screen. Yeah, the power pad. We'll get to that when we play a game. Dance aerobics. Yeah, we'll get to a dance aerobics game. I'm gonna be looking like these people on stream when I play this game. Yeah. Uh, oh my god. Okay. I think that should be it. We're coming towards the end of this. Taboo, we got. We're gonna play that soon. Oh no, Nabuo's Ambition. I'm not sure about this game. We'll see it when we get it. That will be blind. Desert Commando, that will be blind. Mappy Land, blind play. Alpha Wolf, blind play. Predator, blind play. Flying Dragon, don't even know anything. That will be completely blind. Don't need to worry about the NES Journey. We already know the Journey. Oh, NES Trivia Quest. Or test. Let's see. How many minus worlds are in Super Mario Brothers? And actually, there's one. Only one. At the end of 1, 2. Yeah. A. Yep. 2. How do you get out of this. Okay. I don't know if you can read this, but it says, "How do I get out of this?" And then a bunch of characters minus world at the end of World 1 2. That's funny. Uh, okay, so it's basically funny bits. Okay. Who is this? Who is this? Beverly Hills star. Former Dallas star. We just talked about Dallas yesterday. That's interesting. She plays NES. Oh, let's see. Power Awards. Okay, so you can vote for what you want. That's cool. Uh, Best graphics and sound: Double Dragon, Simon's Quest, Metroid, Blaster Master, Wizard Warrior. Probably Metroid. Best challenge: Zelda, Adventure Island, Solomon's Key, Bionic Commander, Castlevania. Challenge? Castlevania. Uh, just because the other ones I don't know except for Zelda. And Zelda was hard, but it's not like super hard. Best theme slash fun: Super Mario Brothers 2, Simon's Quest. Probably Zelda, Super Mario Brothers 2. Zelda wasn't fun. Best play control: probably Metroid. Best character: Link, hands down. End of story. Best endings. Endings, huh? Well, I don't know the ending of Castlevania. Ending of Legend of Zelda was interesting. Blastmaster and Bionic, I don't know. I said out of the two endings I do know, Super Mario Brothers 2 and Zelda 2, I would have to say Zelda 2 has a better ending, just because it's not a dream. Player versus player, I don't know. Probably bases loaded. Overall, out of all this list, which one's the best? Oh God. For the NES, uh, I will abstain my answer until we play all those titles. And then I'll tell you at the end of the NES lifetime what my favorite NES game is of all time. But we'll get there when we get there. We don't need to see all this rating systems, all this personal stories and stuff. Yeah, we don't need to see people's personal scores. Pack Watch. Street Cop, that's the one I was telling you about that uses a power pad. We'll play that. Uh, this is just interesting, and this is literally how you would probably read it is, and when you're a kid. So yeah, if you want to freeze frame on any of these uh, things and read it for yourself, or you can find it online on archive.org. Um, yeah. So yeah, check that out. And that was Nintendo Power magazine.